It's hard to believe that the Ioniq 5 has already been on sale in the United States for almost 2 years now. The car went on sale the end of December of 2021. I bought my car mid-January 2022, so I'm coming up on 2 years, so expect my big 2-year review in the next couple of months. Now what I'm here to talk about though is related to DC fast charging, and that is because the Ioniq 5 comes with unlimited 30-minute charging sessions at Electrify America stations here in the US. Before I bought my car, the plan was I was going to DC fast charge at my local EA station every single week, fill up, go home, do all my driving, and then stop again later the next week. This is before I had any idea that I was going to be the Ioniq guy. And things were great back then. I did it for a couple of months. The charges were relatively open for most of the time. But here's the problem. Around that time, you had the Volkswagen ID4, the Mustang Mach-E, the Polestar 2. You had all these new EVs hitting the road, many of them coming with their own unlimited charging benefit when you purchased one. So I quickly began to see my local station, which is on a main corridor between New York City and Boston, was getting more and more packed every time I went. And I said, you know what, this isn't worth my time. I'm not gonna wait around. So I just started level 2 charging at home, and it's been great. Level 2 charging at home is the best way to experience any EV. Now you might recall, pre-reservation holders, people who reserved the car through HyundaiUSA.com, were later told several months after the launch of the vehicle that we would be getting a 3rd year of unlimited DC fast charging at Electrify America. So I had one of those pre-reservations, and I know a lot of my viewers do. So we all have 1 extra year on top of all the other people who own Ioniq 5s. Now the thing is that these cars were sitting on dealer lots back in December of 2021. So there were people that were coming in off the street without a pre-reservation buying these cars. Those are the individuals who are now about to experience life without unlimited DC fast charging. And I personally know from reading the comments, there are a lot of you who DC fast charge because you don't have a choice. I know there are a lot of you who DC fast charge because it's free. Now, I personally don't necessarily agree with that. I think we are seeing the fruits of that right now. Electrify America stations right now are swamped. It is currently Thanksgiving Day week, and I've been looking at PlugShare and Electrify America, and the stations are swamped. Lines, broken chargers. Now I understand that the lines aren't necessarily due to people who are using their free charging just because they can near their homes, but the unlimited DC fast charging definitely plays a part in the overuse of these stations and really wearing them down a lot quicker than they should. We all know Electrify America has lots of problems. They have a lot of issues keeping their stations up and running. So please, if you have a home charger, make everybody's lives better. Just charge at home. It's going to make EV ownership so much more pleasant for everybody. Now, if you live in a condo or an apartment building and you don't have access to a level 2 charger, so be it. You don't have any other option than to charge at a DC fast charger. Now, something interesting that I heard from somebody internal to Hyundai is that Hyundai completely baked the cost of charging into the price of the Ioniq 5. So somebody who is not DC fast charging with their unlimited plan is subsidizing the cost of somebody who is DC fast charging every other day. Now, I personally don't want to subsidize your DC fast charging, so I just personally really wish that Hyundai would discontinue these charging promotions. If anything, you could do what Kia did. Say when you buy an EV6, here's 1,000 kilowatt hours of DC fast charging. Use it on your few road trips that you're going to take throughout the year. I think that's a great idea. Other than my recent trip to a Tesla supercharger around here just for testing, I had not DC fast charged in over a year. I charge at home every single day. It's not a problem for me. I don't road trip very often, so I don't use hardly anything of my unlimited free charging. So I would personally just like to see Hyundai get rid of it, lower the prices of Ioniq 5s across the board, and then pay for what DC fast charging you actually use. Now, on the topic of Electrify America, I've also been informed by somebody internal to Hyundai that this issue that's going on with Electrify America stations being severely derated, I'm talking 50 kilowatts, 75 kilowatts of output. This has to do with the way that these sites were permitted with the local utilities. Electrify America basically said, hey, we want to build a DC fast charger. This is how much power we're going to be using. So this is what we need. You can plan for this amount of power being needed. And apparently that is causing big problems because now these stations have all stations occupied almost round the clock, especially on busy routes like 84 through Connecticut up to Boston. They're just pulling so much power consistently, and their permit wasn't for that much. So apparently Electrify America is having a lot of issues with trying to go back and renegotiate these contracts with these stations. And it's just causing a big snowball effect because fast charging cars like the Ioniq 5, the Porsche Taycan, the Lucids, they're all now spending 30, 40, 45 minutes to get the same amount of charge. So it makes everybody else have to wait longer, and all these other people who are driving EVs that take 45, 50 minutes to DC fast charge from 10 to 80, it's just getting out of control. And I'm honestly a little bit nervous about this Thanksgiving holiday. They're reporting that this is going to be the biggest travel day since before COVID-19. So a lot of people have bought EVs since the pandemic began. So this is going to be a real test of the DC fast charging network here in the United States. And I'm very interested to see the results. I'm going to keep my eyes on PlugShare throughout the weekend just to see what's going on. I will be doing a trip down to New York City to see my in-laws for Thanksgiving, and I'm going to have to make a stop at a DC fast charger. And I'm honestly leaning towards EVgo or possibly Evolve New York, possibly even the supercharger with Magic Dock in Brewster, New York, because I have a feeling those are going to be much less traveled versus the other Electrify America stations on the 95 corridor and other locations in Connecticut. So now that your unlimited DC fast charging is coming to an end, what are your options? Well, you can keep charging in Electrify America. Electrify America now charges based on the station. So they don't charge a flat fee across the entire network. It's totally dependent on which station you're at. You can sign up for their Electrify America Pass, which gives you a discount per kilowatt hour if you do a lot of DC fast charging. Me personally, I wouldn't sign up for that because I do so little DC fast charging. I'll just pay as I go. And Electrify America is now supposedly charging idle fees. So if you finish charging and you don't unplug within X number of minutes, you will then start getting billed for the amount of time that you are sitting there clogging up that DC fast charger. So make sure you unplug when you're done charging. Of course, there's EVgo, there's ChargePoint, there's all sorts of DC fast charging networks popping up throughout the country. Connecticut is now installing their own network. New York State has begun implementing their own DC fast charging network. Pretty soon, in the next couple of years, we should be able to start using superchargers with adapters. You can already go to superchargers that have Magic Docks and you can charge it up to 100 kilowatts. But once Tesla opens up the network further to stations that don't have Magic Docks, you'll be able to bring your own adapter with you to convert from NACS, which is the Tesla plug, to CCS1, which is the plug that our Ioniq 5s currently have. And then the best option, of course, is to just level 2 charge at home. Because for most people, it's going to be the best experience. Your home electricity rates are going to be much cheaper than DC fast chargers. So even if you have to go out and buy a level 2 charger, install it, there will be a point in the future where your cost of DC fast charging intersects with the cost to just install a level 2 charger at your home. Many states and utilities have incentives to install level 2 chargers, so look into that if you do need to purchase one. If you are one of those early Ioniq 5 buyers who didn't get the 3rd year promotion, let me know down in the comments section, how does this bear in your decision to either keep your Ioniq 5 or what is next for you? Do you rely on DC fast charging because you live in an apartment or a condo? Are you going to install a level 2 charger at your home if you haven't already? Let me know down in the comments section. And if you did do some road tripping during the Thanksgiving weekend, let me know how that experience was down in the comment section below. I want to hear the good stories as well as the bad stories, which I'm sure there's a lot of. Shout out to my channel members who help support the Ioniq Guy channel. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. But anyway, guys, if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody. Are you a new or existing owner of a Hyundai Ioniq 5? Then check out my store because I got a bunch of cool new stuff to show you. So obviously you got the OG magnetic eyewear holder, but I've also got a new magnet shaped like the Ioniq 5 wheel. Do you like big 40-ounce water bottles or tiny little cans? Well, I've got both. This one shrinks your cup holder, while this one enlarges it. I've also got some for the rear seat. I've also got a keychain that resembles the charging indicator in the charge port, and if you don't even want to see this charge port indicator when you're charging at night, you can go ahead and cover it up with this little guy. These LEDs flash very bright at night, so you might not want people coming over and looking at them, and when you're done, thanks to these 2 little nubs, you can go ahead and store it right in your charge port. I design and 3D print these all myself, and every single sale goes towards the channel and helping me grow it a little bit more. So you can purchase any of these products from the links in the descriptions. If you're international, please use my Etsy store. If you're in the US, you can go to my website, ioniqguy.com. You can also purchase them right here without leaving YouTube from the store on my channel page. And if you have any custom requests, shoot me a message because I'm always open to trying something new. So I appreciate you checking them out, and I hope you like them.